So in this lesson, what we're doing, we're continuing with exponents, but now we're looking at various exponent laws. So what are exponent laws? Basically, these are the rules that we're going to use when working with powers. So what do we classify as exponent laws? Basically, two major ones that we're going to look at. One is going to be the product of powers, and the second one is going to be your quotient of powers. So what does each one of these have to deal with? The first one here, being a product of powers, we're basically going to consider this to be your multiplication law. This is the one we're going to focus on today. The second one is going to be basically your division law. And these two basic laws, we then can break them down into three others, dealing with a power of a power of a product, and the third one here is power of a quotient. So the only one we're focusing on today is the multiplication law. This is when you're multiplying powers with the same bases. So your basis must be the same. When you're working with these, basically you need to consider that you are going to, well, let's just look at two examples here. Let's look at the first one. So the first one, let's do it our other way that we've been doing. Method one, using repeated multiplication. So if I have 2 to the third power, I know this first number is 2 times 2 times 2. However, my second number here is 2 to the fourth power. So I still have my multiplication sign here in the center. So it's going to be times, and now I need to continue with 4 2's. So it's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So what I could do at this point, I could plug it into my calculator, and I could figure out, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, continue on, and basically, if I have, it's going to be 128 as my final answer. Another way, if we apply this first exponent law of multiplication, the product of a power, what we're going to do is we are going to add our exponents. So your bases have to be the same. So if you notice, if I have a 2 and a 2, I can add those two together. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to simply write my base, then take my exponents, and I'm going to add the 3 and the 4 together. This gives me 2 to the 7th power, and now I know 2 to the 7th power is 128. If I look at the next one here, even with negative bases are fine, but you just need to make sure that they are going to be the same number. Here I have -4 and -4. So because of the same base, I can go ahead and I can still add my exponents together. So here I have -4, and it's 2 plus 5. So now I have -4 to the 7th power. So if I'm dealing with -4 to the 7th power, basically I know my negative sign stays on the outside, and my answer would be 16,384. So the box below is what your focus is for this section. When multiplying powers with the same base. Try that again. When multiplying powers with the same base, we add our exponents to write the product as a single power. So if you notice here, my bases are the same. I add m plus n, which is what we just demonstrated above. So what I would like for you to do when working through this next section, you are going to start only part A and part B today, okay? And what you don't finish will be done for homework. I would like for you to do this on a sheet of paper where you're working only on the left side of the paper, leaving the right side space for making corrections for later. Use the examples from above to help you. And just one little thing, making sure that all your bases, the bases have to be the same before you can add those exponents. Okay? Tomorrow you'll continue on with part C and part D. Good luck. See you guys soon.